And, that's what you gotta do. You can't rush to start Justin Fields. You can't, because that's, it's not the right way to, utilize a rookie. Because unless you're desperate, the Jaguars, the Jets, but they knew they were starting. They knew, alright, we're getting drafted by the Jets. We're gonna start because they don't have anyone else there. So, I think don't rush to start him yet. Alright. Let's get some music on. Oh, alright, here we go. Alright. Come on now. Connect, please. Alright. Let's wait a bit. Come on. Give me a second. Alright. So the Clippers traded for Drew Bledsoe. My bad. Eric Bledsoe. For Patrick Beverley and Rajon Rondo. Now, I think this is, he's a good veteran guard, and they will, they're becoming a better organization, in my opinion. They got a great veteran guard in him, I think Bledsoe is going to be a good guard for them. I really do. I don't particularly agree with swapping him out for Rondo. Because Rondo is huge in the playoffs, but, Bledsoe, I think he's going to do a pretty good job there. Even though he coughed it up in there, he still did well. In 2019 and 2020, he still did well. Because in 2019, he did well the first two series. It was just the one series where he blew it up. And then in 2020, really everyone choked in 2020. And he's not in his prime anymore, but he can be a quality starter in the league. And, he was also in a terrible situation. You don't need to be a great playoff performer when you got Kawhi and PG around you, I mean, PG did a pretty good job in last year's playoffs. So, honestly, I think this is a pretty decent trade. I think getting Bledsoe is not a bad thing. And I like it. Alright. So Sean Payton says he's not making any comparisons with quarterbacks right now. With obviously Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill. Honestly, they both had pretty bad games. I think Jameis Winston should be the starter because he is actually a quarterback. But doesn't necessarily mean that's a perfect situation. I've said that Jameis Winston is, not a bad quarterback. Because I know he threw 30 picks. But what I'm saying, what the argument I've made is he's not throwing 30 picks in Sean Payton's system. And he did throw for over 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns. Not many quarterbacks can say they did that. But what happened in this game is he had a 77 quarterback rating. Taysom Hill had a 51. He had one interception. Taysom Hill had also an interception. I worry about the Saints. I really do. I worry about them. I think they don't make the playoffs this year. I really don't. I don't think he's staying in there. Or no, I don't think they're making it in there. I think the team to replace them in the playoffs is the Niners. Alright. So Tebow was ripped on social media for his poor attempts at blocking. But the thing is, he's a quarterback coming into the league 8 years later, and this is what I was saying. He's coming into the league 8 years later to learn a new position. You know, he can't block. Like, I know he's a big guy, but that doesn't mean he can block. He doesn't know the right way. Like, you saw that. I don't think he makes the roster. I really don't. I really don't. I think he... And I think he's going to get cut. I really do. I just don't think he's... He's just not really an NFL player. He's a good guy. I'm not denying that, but... He's not an NFL player. He wasn't that good of a quarterback. He was just an icon. Alright. Alright. So, Rodgers said that, in an interview that there's other things other than football, because he said he's 50-50 on retiring. Like, apparently that report was almost, it was, like, legit. And, like, there are some people that have things other than football on their mind, which is obviously okay. Like, I heard some people saying Luck, like when he got drafted, Luck is too smart for football. I was like, how can you be too smart for football? He can do anything else. He doesn't have to play football because he's very smart. Luck can do other things. He's a smart guy. He retired early. Now, I honestly think if he didn't have other things to do, he could have went a couple more years. But he looked at it, he was like, I have other things to do. I'm getting injured constantly. I keep getting hit. I'm out. Because he could have easily just asked them, hey, I've been here 7 years. You guys got to start listening to me. And get me some offensive linemen. But he didn't, Aaron can do other things and be happy, He's not, like, I said this when the report came out, is I don't think Aaron's defined by football. Like, the reason Brady is still playing football is because he's basically defined by it. Doesn't really have much else that he wants to do. He just wants to play football. That's why he keeps playing. Like, I'm sure Brady knows he's won 7 rings. Doesn't have much more to prove. But he's got a passion for football. Aaron, he could retire, Apparently it's his decision at the end of the year, If he wants to get traded, they'll trade him. And there's going to be teams that want him. There's going to be teams jumping at him. So, that's going to be a big day. The day he announces, hey, I want to get traded, teams are going to swoop right in. Alright, but I think he can retire and be absolutely fine with it. Now, that's okay on their side of things. But on the Packers, do they want that? Do they want a quarterback that actually consider retirement? because he's clearly not in this for much longer. On the Packers side of things, you want to actually look at that. Like, okay, so he has other passions? Okay, that's a little... It's not ideal. And I'm not saying get rid of him right away. I'm just saying it's not the worst thing to trade him. Alright. So, Mac Jones, as I mentioned earlier, had the highest Pro Football Focus grade. And he did exactly what you've seen in college. Lawrence even did basically what you saw in college. Basically everyone was what they were in college. Fields was explosive and athletic. Lance was incredibly talented. Jones was accurate and smart and comfortable. And there are two quarterbacks in this draft, or that were drafted in the first round that have great coaches. That is Mac Jones and Trey Lance. Kyle Shanahan, Bill Belichick. Those are two great coaches, in my opinion. I don't think it's fair yet to say that Belichick is a bad coach who was carried by Brady. I honestly think the fact that he went 7-9 with 7 opt-outs last season on the defensive side, and a COVID-riddled Cam Newton, I think that's amazing. Honestly. And he did win 11 games when Brady was out that one year. Remember Matt Castle? 11-5 with Matt Castle. Alright? I don't know if it's fair to say that he is a bad coach yet. Without Brady. But think about this. It is so... Some quarterbacks get lucky. And this is why there are so many first overall busts. Because they land in crappy situations. Kyler Murray, I give him credit. He was able to succeed as a first overall. He was not in an ideal spot. Who was it last? Burrow. He is succeeding, but his team is not winning. That's not very good there. Who was the 2018 first? Oh, that wasn't even a quarterback. But it really depends on where you land. Do you think Lamar would be this good without John Harbaugh? Do you think Josh Allen would be this good without Sean McDermott? And do you think Patrick Mahomes would be this good without Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, and Andy Reid? I'm not saying they're going to be bummed without them. Josh Allen is, in my opinion, the most talented quarterback in the NFL. Behind Mahomes. Lamar is incredibly talented, can run and pass. Mahomes is one of the most talented quarterbacks to play the game, in my opinion. But it really depends on where you land. It's part of why I worry about Zach Wilson. He does have a rookie coach. And I think Sal's going to do a good job there, but I can't guarantee that. I can basically guarantee that Shanahan's going to do well with Lance, and McVay's going to do well with Stafford, and what else? I think Nagy's going to do a good job with Fields, but I'm not really sure if he's going to be there next year. I don't know if he's going to get, bounced. But, talent-wise, think about this. Talent-wise, does Jones look good? No. But he's got Belichick. He's got a good coach. He's in a good position right now. And you can actually... It's crazy. You can actually spot something bad very quickly. If you pay attention to some signals, you're going to catch on. You will know if something's bad. Normally, you would. But